depends on the time of day. So what I'm going to ask you all, it's a standard greeting. Basically, it's going to ask, how is everybody doing? Is everybody doing well this evening? And the response is going to be, huh. Not it's huh. So, and I'm not going to teach you no because I want everybody to have a great, I know everybody's having a great time tonight. So I'm going to ask you a question and you're going to respond by huh. Okay. Alright, I'm glad everybody's doing well tonight. Alright, so I was born and raised among the sandstone mesas, the pinon and juniper of Acoma Pueblo. My playgrounds were the dunes, the sandstone monoliths, the crevices of the mesa edges. But where I grew up was in a small room that I shared with my mother and my sister and my grandmother's house. And I'm not trying to tell a story of poverty because I never thought of myself as in need. We took care of each other, but I knew we lived modestly. My mom would have my sister and I spend our days exploring the reservation in areas she had played when she was younger. The best days of my childhood were spent heading out in a tiny old black single cab Nissan on the way to wander our lands and sacred areas of cultural significance. This was a cheap, viable option for the family of a single mother and a teacher. This is where the seed was planted for my connection to the land. The land would be my source of strength throughout my life, through depression, through self-doubt, through loss. Anytime I needed comfort, it had always been found in a place prepared. Hawk, which is the true name of Acoma Pueblo. The place we searched in the high deserts of the Southwest for hundreds of years. My heart, my home. When we emerged from the earth, we were told there was a land for us. It was ready, waiting for my people to find it 1,000 years ago, waiting with its sacredness, with its sheltering mesas for protection, with its cold, clean cisterns of rainwater, and waiting with its nurturing lands for planting. Through a millennia of living here, this place was soaked in prayer. Let it rain for the beloved land, the animals, and the people. These are the words I speak practically every morning as I greet the sun with my cornmeal, which is how we pray and how we're supposed to start our day. To ask for the continuance of everything. Water is life. Rain is life for people of the desert. The rain brings the water that nourishes the lands, and the land sustains the animals and the people. Frana Ashhat, our mother, is our provider, the mother of the earth. Back home, it's taboo to not take care of your parents once you're an adult. We take care of our mothers and our fathers in their late lives, just as they took care of us in our childhood. Frana Ashhat is infinite. And never see a time when she must rest, and we must not take more than what we need. To conserve so she can replenish. We as beings of this earth are caretakers of our mother, our source of knowledge and strength. This is something you learn through our traditional practices, such as farming and gathering of materials for utility and ceremony. These are the values we do our best to ingrain in our youth. But as time goes on, we have become more and more estranged from our mother. We have become less and less the land-based people we once were, and become dependent on the dollar to sustain us rather than the land itself. There's been a need developed for young people to become conscious of our land-based ways that we are losing, so that we can ignite the spark that will illuminate the way back to our original path. The Ancestral Lands Program, its vision, is for Native youth to lead their nations back to ecological and cultural well-being. And I've had the huge pleasure of overseeing a program that so many young Native leaders have put their hearts and souls to help continuously push this vision into reality. Ashewi, Dene, Hak Omet, Zuni, Dene, Akma. These are the young people we serve through the Ancestral Lands Program and offices. These are the youth you see in these pictures. Through Ancestral Lands, we've been able to work with young Native people, where we focus on programs that involve ecological restoration, historic preservation, community improvement, traditional agriculture, as well as youth recreation, outdoor youth recreation. These projects are in areas of cultural significance where our members can learn the history of the people and see the places that we mention in our oral histories. These programs also provide knowledge that is being lost, such as traditional farming practice and masonry work. One member in particular has been with our program since he was 12, and now he's 17 and graduating high school. He was with our youth outdoor recreation program called the Acoma Hiking Club, and then he moved on to service committee with our Youth Conservation Corps program. I've seen this young man grow in so many ways, but I honestly wonder sometimes if they're getting anything out of it. But one day, this past summer, one of our crews was talking about their experience with Ancestral Lands. And when his turn came, he spoke about his time with the hiking club and how he went to all these places and spoke about their histories, even their traditional names in our language. And then he went on to say that he had been planting his own field and saving the seeds, giving away the produce for free to his neighbors through what he had learned from our farm program. I was blown away, to say the least. Especially the fact that when he showed us the pictures, his garden looked better than mine. These members, these young people, these young, amazing Native people, give me hope for the future. And I know when I look back in these future years in my old age, these young people will carry on what we have left, and they'll take our places. So now I'd like to end this, the way we begin things usually, and the way we end things also, with a prayer, so that we can all have the strength to do the good work we know we do, so that life can continue.